I feel super fortunate. I've lived in different parts of the world. I have, in traveling and relocating, often been the trailing spouse, which is, like needs a better marketing spin. But it's every time a chance to go back to the beginning and say, okay, what is most important? Community. How do I engage in community? And be able to kind of condense down those activities to how do I find the people that I want to be around? I want to be around ideas people. So of course, I'm going to support my kids in their schooling, but my head is kind of looking around for people who are fixing and bettering community. And so as my opportunities grew to have influence, as I tried this and found like, wow, maybe this is kind of a superpower that I have, which is connecting people around big ideas and bringing together the financial resources and the buy-in and the volunteer support and business and government and philanthropy. It's something that, I can see and I can do, and I a little bit take it for granted, as I think most people do. What their superpower is, they're like, oh, well, that's easy, but what I can't do is this over here. So really learning what my core capability is, what is special and unique about what is in my toolbox, and then working to really develop that. So each time I take on a new level of complication in one of my projects or enterprises, always bringing tenacity, always bringing belief, and always bringing resilience. Because I'll tell you, if you're trying to do something that hasn't been done before, people that you ask about the possibility for that to be perhaps a better way, I mean, they're not all like, yeah, for sure. I mean, people riding around on horses weren't like, can't wait to get the first crack at an automobile. It just takes time for people to kind of come along. And so you meet a lot of people when you're trying to do something different and big, who, it's not that they're not rooting for you, especially if you have an idea that could create a better community and foster a better society. It's just they don't believe it. And so you have to carry the belief of others until you can enact what it is that you had in mind, and show and be like, see? And so I get actually energy from people who, and in my own enterprise now with I Ponder, where people are like, you're gonna what? You're gonna create a new form of media. That media is really hard. It's such a noisy marketplace. The players are so established. All of the business model is locked in, and I don't think that any of those things are true. I think it's super ready for disruption, and I think that there is a way to turn it on its ear, on its cynical ear, and actually take back some of what public purpose should be in media, and ensure that media is supporting, guess what, you and me, and our need to know and deeply understand the communities that we live in, so we can contribute. So that's that belief, that's that resilience. I used to joke with my children when I had a tough time, in something I was trying to do. I'd come home and I'd be like, well, kids, like the gecko lizard, mom kind of got her tail cut off today, but I'm going to grow another one. And it got to the point where they would be like, oh my God, Mom, here goes mom again with her metaphors of, learning and growing through adversity. But I would add to that for me, and hopefully going forward for every single person who hears this, equity is the way to develop any good idea. It's a byproduct of the success of your idea. It will ensure that your idea is aligned with the future of society and the development goals for the whole world that the United Nations has put forward, as in the Sustainable Development Goals. So doing whatever it is that we're doing with equity front and center means you're not going to have to go back later and unbuild and undo something that isn't really unlocking the full potential of all people, because you didn't think of it in the first place. So I guess that's the last thing I would say is, I said tenacity, belief, resilience. Not everybody's going to give you a round of applause. It's tough out there, let me tell you. Less than 2% of VC money goes to women-owned businesses. Less than 1% goes to people of color businesses. So I'm twice as lucky as the Black woman who's trying to start a business. So I'm experiencing which is sort of like, oh yeah, I guess, I've got all this privilege, but I'm still a woman and
Hmm.
launching a business. So that resilience is really important. But if you build your business and build your idea with equity in mind, then you're locking in future success at the beginning.